the Oklahoma City Thunder have executed a near-perfect rebuild. They have a first-team All-NBA player already in 25-year-old Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's coming off a 31.4 point-per-game season. They have two other young guys who have already shown flashes of all-star upside in Josh Giddey and Jalen Williams. Then they have a Rookie of the Year candidate in Chet Holmgren, on top of the 10th overall pick in Cason Wallace, who impressed in Summer League. They're stacked with young talent and overachieved last season by making the play-in tournament. They're primed for a jump up the standings and to solidify themselves as a real playoff team despite their youth. But it felt as if they were missing one thing: a veteran leader who could be a complementary scorer and passer next to SGA in the backcourt. This offseason they filled that void by signing 29-year-old 2021 Euroleague MVP Vasilije Micic. He was drafted 54th overall by the Sixers all the way back in 2014, but decided he wanted to play overseas. Now nearly 10 years later, Micic is coming over to the NBA after drawing interest from teams over the past few years. The Thunder add a player who can shoot the lights out and help them immediately on offense. Over the past two seasons in the Turkish Super League, Micic has shot 45 and 46% on three-point attempts respectively. He should be an immediate contributor for a team that could use more shooting and playmaking, and at just 3 years and $23 million, he could be a steal for Oklahoma City. Vasilije Micic is about to take the Thunder to the next level. Now let's take a deeper look at why. Before we get into the role that the EuroLeague star could play for the Thunder, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched me before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. In the 2014 NBA draft, an unknown, well-rounded Serbian prospect was selected late in the second round. His career's progress was far from linear, but ultimately he would win MVPs and titles at the highest level and rack up accolades that few predicted. That prospect's name is Vasilije Micic. He was selected with the 52nd pick of the 2014 draft by Sam Hinkie in the Philadelphia 76ers. He would remain overseas because the process Sixers point guard rotation that season, Michael Carter-Williams, Tony Wroten, and NBA champ Ish Smith, was simply too good for there to be room for the young Serbian. Instead, Micic meandered along somewhat aimlessly in Europe. After the draft, he joined Bayern Munich for the following season and appeared in only 6 EuroLeague games. The next season, he joined Red Star Belgrade and made 1 start all season. He then joined Zalgiris Kaunas, who made an underdog run to the EuroLeague Final Four, and Micic accumulated career highs in starts, 10, minutes per game, 22, and points per game, 7.6. If you're thinking to yourself that none of that sounds impressive, you're right. If you're wondering why Sam Presti and the Thunder just signed this guy to a 3-year, $23 million contract, that's fair. So let's dive into his career. After Micic's season in Lithuania, he signed with Turkish Euroleague team Anadolu Efes Istanbul, coached by Ergin Ataman. 2 more guards joined Efes that offseason as well, and their names that sicko NBA fans will likely recognize: Shane Larkin and Rodrigue Beaubois. Coach Ataman implemented a system that many likened to the then James Harden and Chris Paul-led Houston Rockets. They had plenty of floor spacing and relentlessly ran pick and rolls and isolations for their lead ball handlers. The approach was bold and not all that common in Europe. The reality was that for a system like that to be effective, you likely needed guys who were as skilled as Harden and Paul, and no players like that existed in Europe. Or at least, that's what many thought. Sure, Micic was coming off the best season of his career, and Larkin was coming off a strong season with Baskonia and a brief NBA return with the Celtics. They looked good, but Euro, Harden, and Paul? It seemed unlikely. Unlikely to everyone but Ataman. Ataman believed deep down that Larkin and Micic were capable of leading a team this way. To an extent, he thumbed his nose at European basketball norms. The way the game is played on the old continent has plenty of traits. Isolation basketball is not one of them. But the doubts, the question marks, and general lack of approval only fueled Ataman and in turn, Larkin and Micic. The two of them were unleashed, and Micic in particular took off. He He achieved career highs in points per game, 12.5, assists per game, 5.5, three-point percentage, 37, and three-point attempts per game, 4.8, while earning all Euroleague second-team honors. His team succeeded as well. They made the Euroleague championship game, losing to CSKA Moscow after finishing dead last in Euroleague the previous season. Then Micic got better again, and in the next full Euroleague season, Micic won MVP and Efes returned to the Euroleague Final Four. They got their revenge and defeated Moscow in the semifinal, and then beat Nikola Mirotic's Barcelona in the final. They went back-to-back the following season once again, thanks to Micic. Last season, though, Efes fell off. Micic played well, but the team seemed to have finally run its course. They missed out on the Euroleague playoffs entirely. Adaman left for Greek giants Panathinaikos, and Micic, whose rights were ultimately traded to the OKC Thunder in the Al Horford salary dump, has decided to finally cross the pond. While Micic's talent is undeniable, he's shifty, got great core strength, a deft touch at the rim and from beyond the arc, a solid passer and fearless. He'll be in a dogfight for real minutes with the Thunder. SGA and Josh Giddey are established leaders in their backcourt, and rookie Cason Wallace, shooter Isaiah Joe, and veterans Victor Oladipo and Patty Mills are all on next season's payroll. Should Micic find success quickly, Thunder GM Sam Presti will have essentially signed a Tyler Hero level player for about $22 million less annually. Should Micic struggle, remember the path his overseas career took and how it was far from linear. If he falls out of the rotation, a number of teams who could use another skilled offensive initiator with size, the Sixers, Celtics, Clippers, Nets, etc., should be placing calls ahead of the February trade deadline and remind themselves that when Adaman let Micic be Micic, success followed. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.